Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the countdown show on Habibi Ramadan 4. We are your hosts, Zara,
Camila,
Consola.
There are just a few more days to the end of this beautiful month of Ramadan. Ladies, how are you feeling?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Excited.
Excited?
It's been an amazing month as usual, and this month for me has been way better than previous years.
Alhamdulillah, that's what we pray for. Camila?
That's nice to hear. Alhamdulillah, it's been interesting.
It's been
quite busy, but it's been interesting, you know. Just gotten a boost.
Alhamdulillah. As we all prepare for Eid, let us not forget a very important topic, Zakat al-Fitri. Our Imam is going to speak to us about this important topic as Eid approaches.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Today we are looking at Zakat al-Fitri. So we are winding down and running off our fasting. One of the prerequisites of Muslim who is sane, who is an adult and has the capability is for him to pay, to observe Zakat al-Fitri. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has enjoined the companions when it starts from 27th day of Ramadan till the day of the Eid, before the performance of the Eid prayer, they had to observe Zakat al-Fitri. And what is the essence of the Zakat al-Fitri? The basic goal and objective of Zakat al-Fitri is for, first and foremost, that like the name says, Zakat al-Fitri. Zakah means to purify those who were doing Eid al-Fitri, the Eid of breaking fast. So those of you who have observed fast is to purify your fast, to sanctify it from some of the little misdeeds that you have done within 29 or 30 days of fast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that we are not perfect. Despite the fact that the Ramadan was supposed to make you holy, there will be some little mistakes you have done here and there, and then you observe as a Zakat al-Fitri. Number two objective is for it to make those of you who are not well to do, who are masakin or fuqara, the needy or the poor, to also observe the Eid in a rejoicing mood, in a celebrating mood. Not that you now go and hang, sit down in one corner of your house and just pack yourself there. You need to also rejoice, and this will make them to also rejoice. And how do we do Zakat al-Fitri? Basically, you do it with the grains that is acceptable in your particular region of the country you find yourself. During the time of the Prophet ﷺ, what they used to use is barley. But scholars of Islam was the opinion that we can use grains that is obtainable in our area. Like in Nigeria, you can use corn, guinea corn, cassava flour, you can use beans, you can use rice. These are stable food that we do, and this will have to do it with the measurement of 4 mudu, which is equivalent to 1 sa'a. There is a measurement called sa'a. If you can get one, it is for one person, one household. If you are a family of 5, a father, the mother, and 3 children, then you need to observe Zakat al-Fitri on all of them. The 5 households, then this will be paid by the head of the family. And if you are expectant of a baby, maybe that Imam Malik in his Muwatta opined that you should also pay on the expectant baby, in as much as the baby is more than 40 days in the womb, is also alive. You also pay Zakat al-Fitri on that. Now, if you now have maid, you have when we have slavery invoke. You are also duty bound to pay on them too, because they are also your inhabitants. All these you are going to pay on them. And when you measure 4 mudu on a particular slave of Allah, and then multiply it by the number of people that you have in your household. That is what you are going to use for a measurement. And you have to give it to those who are needy and the poor. The category of those the Prophet Quran has narrated in Surah Al-Tawbah and those who were sabil, those who were going on the way and they couldn't find their way anywhere, and you pay to them. So this we need to observe before we go to Eid. If you observe Zakatul Fitri after the Eid, it is no more Zakatul Fitri. It is just ordinary Sadaqah. This is the injunction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah said to us in Surah Al-Ala, قَدْ أَفْلَهَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. He is indeed succeeds, he who purify himself. If you purify yourself during this period, you are indeed successful as somebody who has fasted for that number of days. وَذَكَرَ اسْمُ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى. And after you have done your Zakatul Fitri, what do you now do? You magnify the name of Allah, and you will now go to the Eid and pray on the Eid prayer. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make it a wujah for us and not against on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. There are opinions of scholars in the modern world who opine that we can also pay with monetary value. It is also acceptable, but the basis for Zakatul Fitri is initially the grains. We pray Allah make this to be a wujah for us and not against us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome back. I hope we all benefited from that very important reminder. Our Zakat al-Fitri, ladies, let us not forget every single household, inshallah. And let's also not forget to get our Zakat al-Fitri to those in need before our salat. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
We are going now to Jamila in the kitchen, cooking up a very lovely iftar meal for us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to yet another episode of Jamila's Diary. How has Ramadan been so far? I'm sure it's been great. Today's recipe is quite different and I'm sure you guys can't wait to try it out. Let's get started. Welcome back. For my doya dokwe, I'll need some yam. You can see it's been washed and cut into strips. Some flour, cinnamon powder, cornstarch. This will go into my beef sauce. Some eggs, stock, beef strips, soy sauce, green peppers, ginger and garlic, some vegetable oil, and onions. So let's start with the yam fritters. So for my doya dokwe today, I'm going to add some cinnamon to my flour. And cinnamon is packed full of flavor. So this is a twist to my recipe today. So the first thing I'm going to do is boil my yam. I'll add some water. Okay, so we'll let this cook while I go to my beef sauce. So I'm going to make my beef sauce now. Medium heat. Add some vegetable oil. About 1 cooking spoon. That's good enough. Add my ginger and garlic. Now let this heat through. Okay. So now I'm going to add my beef strips. So cut them up already in very thin strips so they will cook really fast and easily. I especially love to make stir fries because they're super quick and it's a great way to retain the nutrients of your vegetables. So when you're pressed for time, thinking about what to cook, stir fries are the easy way to go. So I'll let this cook through for a bit, let it brown on the other side before I come back and turn it. So the next thing I'm going to add now is I'll add 2 Maggi cubes. What am I going to do without my Maggi? So I'm just going to stir it over so it cooks nicely. Looks really yummy. It's about time I check my yam. Oh wow, my yam is cooked through already. So I'm just going to strain it out now. Alright, so my beef is cooked through. It has such a beautiful brown color. I'll turn it into a bowl. So I'm using the same pan to retain the juice and flavor of the beef. So next to go in are my onions. And the next thing will be my red bell peppers. I love when I hear that sizzling sound. It just makes me know the food is going to be super delicious. Okay, my green peppers going in. Oh, look at the mix of colors, so beautiful. Stir fry in na yayi kyau. Irin wannan ake ce mai gida, ce bari kallo. So next I'm going to add my beef. Okay, this is turning out really pretty. Okay, and then I'll add some stock. I'm going to add some water to my cornstarch, and this will help thicken the stock. Nice and creamy. So I'm going to stir this very quickly. It's thickening already. It's so beautiful. So next I'll add my soy sauce. This will enhance the flavor and the color. Give it a rich brown color. I think this is just fine. Yeah. So I'm just gonna test this. See if it's cooked through. Can't wait to serve this up. Our beef stir fry is ready. Super delicious. Can't wait to serve this up. So I'm going to make my doya adukwe now. So I'm going to add the yams in. You can do 2, 3 at a time, depends on what you want. I can't wait to serve this up for iftar. Invite friends and family over. So you want your oil really hot, so that as soon as you drop your yam in, the egg just sizzles. I love the crunchy part. It's funny how I used to think doya adukwe was made when I was little. And so I'll fry my yam first, not knowing it was being boiled first. And then after frying the yam, I come back and pour all the egg inside. It looked like an omelette, not doya adukwe. Okay. So I'll just wipe my hands. Don't worry if your hands get messy. You can always wash it afterward. This is great to serve up for iftar. It's so easy. Ramadan is a season for sharing, so you can invite friends over, family, acquaintances. It's Ramadan after all. You'll have a fun time eating this meal. Now it's cooked through, so I'm just going to flip it over. You can see the crunch on the back of the yams. This is what I spent so many years trying to get. And I couldn't achieve it. Yes. So lovely. I love the golden brown color. Looks so lovely. Okay. This looks so good. I'm just going to take this out now. I'll put it on the kitchen towel. I'll put it on the paper towel to soak up the oil. I want to take out the excess oil. See how golden it looks. Oh my god, this is so lovely. Just take a look at the crunch. Beautiful. This is ready to plate now. Mashallah, it's been fun sharing this recipe with you guys. It looks delicious and tastes delicious. Jazakallah khair for watching. Don't forget to join us on another episode of Jamila's Diary on Habibi Ramadan. You can follow us on our social media handles at Maggie_Nigeria on Instagram and at Maggie Nigeria on Facebook. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, you're welcome back to the Countdown Show. Our guest today is Sharifa Yunus and we'll be discussing the hijab. If you can pray in it, why should you wear it? So, welcome Sister Sharifa.
Thank you.
Tell us a little about yourself before we get into this serious matter about the hijab.
Okay, my name is Sharifa Yunus. I'm mom to 4 girls and I have a foster son.
Okay.
I'm a culinary artist and instructor.
Okay.
I cook, I bake, and I'm a hijabi, obviously.
Mashallah. Mashallah.
Alright.
Okay, so now let's talk about the hijab.
There are basically like 7 rules.
Okay.
The hijab should cover every part of the body except the face and the hand. But except you want to cover the face, it's not compulsory, according to some scholars. Then it should be free. It shouldn't be adorned. It should not be a clothes that the men wear or of a clothes of particular religion. Then basically it shouldn't be transparent too. And I think one of the major problems is that there are not enough maybe Muslim women that the young ones can look up to. And so they now think that the hijab is something that they're not proud of. It's not something they can take anywhere, or they cannot be successful while wearing the hijab. So perhaps they need more people to encourage them. So personally, I might not have had people around me that I look up to about the hijab when I started wearing it. However, I had role models in Islam from history, and I wanted to be just like them. So yes, those were my role models.
Something very interesting she just said. She had role models in Islam from history. This takes us to something else.
Reading.
You sought knowledge.
Exactly.
Right? So nobody forced you to the well to drink.
No.
You looked for it and you found it.
For me and for people around me, it was obvious that there's something positive about this thing. So yes, I sought knowledge.
Yeah.
I had people, and the people I met too, they were really quite awesome. So it was easier for me to go on, wearing it and learning more. And I wanted to, because I love to achieve, I wanted the best of it. Okay, what next? Okay, so how more? As long as there are evidences for it. So I went on.
So I'm quite interested to know what encouraged you to, start using the niqab, the face
Yeah, I
covering.
wanted to ask that as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's a
So before I got married, I read a lot about the women around the messengers, and till today, I do not believe that the niqab is compulsory. However, I saw that a lot of those women wore the niqab, and I was like, okay, fine, it's not compulsory, but these women did, and the best of women, and I wanted to just be like them, The woman who wore the niqab wasn't somebody who was relegated to the background. She was amazing, and I wanted to just be amazing.
Wow, you are amazing, by the way.
So I think the question answered itself. If you can't pray in something, I don't think you should be wearing it.
Our Lord is everywhere. We
Yes,
have to
yes.
have that consciousness that, Allah is a Raqib. He's watching over us no matter where we are. So if we're standing before Him in Salah and we need to be a certain way, why do we think we should go about our daily lives in disobedience to Him with regards to how we dress? And that was like the switch that I needed to make that step towards, dressing a certain way that no matter where I am, I can observe my Salah and I'm not thinking, I need to go and look for something else to put on top, or I'm not even going to pray because I'm not appropriately dressed.
So this now brings us down to the heart, the state of the heart. You also mentioned that you sought knowledge, but this was after something moved you within. Same as you as well. Something from within, something happened and you're like, okay, I want to start doing this for the sake of Allah. So right now, do we feel like people are not opening up their hearts, or what is the fundamental problem?
Okay,
Because we
I
know that we should do this thing, but we just
Okay,
don't do it.
before I used to feel somehow, meeting people and all, but I became confident. I mean, I went for business roundtable in Sheraton hotels, and everybody was staring at, did she make a mistake in here? And I would always ask questions. So when they start talking, I'm thinking of what would I say? And when I start talking, they'll look and listen. Do you understand? So we need to let the young ones know that you can be well dressed and you can be successful, and you don't have to feel bad about it. So let's move more away from the politics, the fashion, and let's be more, like you said, from the nafs, from our mind, from what Allah has says. Tell the believing woman to dress this way, and this is how I want to do it. Billah, not because, it's trendy, not because of anything, but because it's coming straight from my heart to please my Lord.
I think with relation to the hijab and salah, the two main things, the two key things would be for people to seek knowledge and for people to also educate others. So it's all about, knowledge, education, because there are people who genuinely don't know that they are supposed to dress a certain way for salah. About 2 weeks ago, I had an encounter with a lady in the mosque. She walked in and she wasn't observing the proper hijab. She had a turban and all. And she prayed.
With the turban?
Yeah, she prayed with the turban and also a mini skirt. And I was thinking, I was just sitting there reading, and I was thinking, okay, maybe should I approach her and say it? And I was feeling if I say it, will she take offense? Yes, am I going to be too extra? Nobody wants to be extra, so we're always scared of approaching people. So eventually, I was just like, okay, you know what? Let me just go for it. At least I've tried, and it's Ramadan, why not? So I just spoke to her Assalamu alaikum, sister. So that's one thing as well. People who want to, educate people should not be so harsh, because that kind of throws people off. So I just went to her sister, Assalamu alaikum, hope you don't mind me disturbing you. I introduced myself, and I told her I just wanted to talk to her. Before I even finished, she was like, oh, is it her hijab? And I was like, yes, I just wanted to ask if you were aware. And she said, yes, she's aware, but, she just gave some reasons that she forgot her hijab at home and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. Well, I just left it there that day with that situation, because clearly she knew. Yeah. She knew. But for her, so she had come from work. But I was just feeling like, okay, if you've come all the way from work to the masjid to say your salah, that means it's important to you. You know you should be praying. Allah is important to you. You've left work for that. But then why not, do it properly, complete it. So the thing would just be, she knows she's supposed to wear the hijab, but she doesn't know why she should be wearing the hijab to pray. She doesn't yet understand perhaps the implications of maybe not wearing it. So that's where, education would come in. And I think it also should start from a young age. Yes. Of course, not force children to wear, but they need to understand why. Mm-hmm. Why is mommy doing this? Why is auntie doing this? Mm-hmm. From that, the love can grow in there, and as they progress in life, they understand. You're not just telling them, "Oh, wear this," or there are people who wear hijab and don't know why they're wearing it.
Yeah. So on that note, we actually have some prayer garments as
How many
gifts. We have 4. From Hijab Right Advocacy Initiative. And this is for any sisters. We're giving these away to our viewers. Any sisters, it's not for us, so, for people who, like the person that you mentioned in your story.
Can I have a look?
Yeah, here you go. And these are prayer garments that, sisters can potentially, if you're not at the level yet, you can have it with you in your salah kit that you carry around, and when you want to pray, you can put this on over your clothes. And this is basically a salat garment drive to try to encourage sisters to pray. So sometimes the excuse is that, I'm not appropriately dressed, so I'm going to delay my prayers until I get home. That should not be an excuse, and we'll be giving this away.
Just the 2-piece.
Yes,
you
2-piece.
Throw it
on top, throw it on bottom, whatever you're wearing. For those who are not yet at that level, may Allah make it easy for us all to get to that point where whatever we are wearing, we can pray in it. So you can grab one of these. If you send us an email at info@howtv.com, the first 4 people to send us an email will be gifted these little. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. We thank you so much, sis, for coming on the show and sharing your experience with us. I know that a lot of people would have taken so much advice and gems from it. Pray that Allah, makes this deen easy for us,
Ameen.
because He does not mean it to be hard for us. We pray that He increases us in sincerity for all that we do and accepts our deeds in this blessed month of Ramadan. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for watching the Countdown show with us today. Catch us next time.
Assalamu alaikum.
رمضان 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 يا حبيب رمضان رمضان ليتك دوما قريب ليتك